May of 2018, at the end of a 2-week seminar in Israel and Palestine, I had the opportunity to hike the Jesus Trail, which is a hike that starts in Nazareth and goes to Tabgha, which is by Capernaum on the Sea of Galilee. It is a total of approximately 50 miles. Our transport to the hotel in Nazareth was a bit harrowing, but the first day of hiking started off right when I was attacked by a crazy kitten at breakfast. Let the adventure begin. On day 1, we hiked up to the top of Nazareth, which is no small feat, but I kept it in perspective by remembering the Gringo Killer on the Inca Trail. At the top of Nazareth, you can see the rolling hills stretch out before you, and the trail truly begins. Like everywhere else we'd been in the past few weeks, olive trees were all around. But up here we also saw the mustard trees of the parables, and we got up close and personal with the local wildlife. Farmland and wilderness stretched out as far as we could see. But even in the remote areas, there were stark reminders of exactly where we were. The cacti there are invasive and non-native, but in Palestinian art they have come to represent resilience. The second day we began in Cana, the town noted in Scripture as the location of Jesus' first miracle, water into wine. From there we began the trek to Lavi, a well-known kibbutz, which is a sort of large agricultural commune without the hippies. The trail was interesting in some places and required a bit of teamwork from time to time. We trekked through a weird mix of wilderness and civilization. One of our water stops was at a McDonald's. After a posh rest at the Kibbutz Lavi, we began the upward climb to Arbel, where we would stay at a moshav, which is similar to a kibbutz. encountered more wildlife, and got our first glimpses of where day 4 would begin. It would begin on a steep and terrifying climb down the cliffs of Arbel. It was a beautifully scenic day, and there were a few points of historical interest along the way. Boats are my nemesis, and heights are my kryptonite. But you'll never have an adventure if you never do scary or uncomfortable things. So I steeled myself, put on the most convincing smile I could muster, and I climbed down the cliffs of Arbel. It was worth it just to be able to say something as dramatic as, I climbed down the cliffs of Arbel. At the bottom, the Sea of Galilee welcomed us back. Before we parted ways that evening, I taught my new colleagues and friends the Northumbria blessing, which I sing at the end of every worship service.
Protect you through the storm, may he bring you home rejoicing.
I hope to return to Israel and Palestine one day, because from the grandeur of Jerusalem,
Rejoicing once again into our doors,
to the beautiful grit of Bethlehem, to the serenity of the Galilee. It's a part of the world that is without equal. But like all good adventures, this one had to come to an end so I could begin to plan the next one. What's your next adventure?